All right, this is Geometry Unit 7 review. I want to make this video to go over a few answers, and then you guys can do the rest. So the first two sections here are finding the missing side length using Pythagorean theorem. First section, we need to leave our answer in simplest radical form, and 3 and 4, we want to leave it in the nearest tenth. So we're going to be rounding. All right, so I'll look at number 1 here. Remember, Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and the hypotenuse, the side length that is across from the right angle, has to be the c term. Okay, so for this one here, I'm going to set up 16 squared is equal to 12 squared plus x squared, and now I'm going to go ahead and solve for x. I'm going to square 16, that's 256. 12 squared is 144 plus x squared. All right, I'm going to isolate the variable, so I'm going to subtract 144 on both sides, and I'm left with 112 is equal to x squared. Now we want to do the inverse operation of squaring, so I'm going to take the square root on both sides. Square root of x squared is just x, and the square root of 112 is, I'm going to pull up my calculator for this. Well, we're going to do one from this section. I'll show you both ways to get simplest radical form and nearest tenth. So I'm going to hit the second key, hit that square root key right there, type in 112, press enter. There we go. And so this one has already reduced it down to simplest radical form. So 4 times the square root of 7. For 3 and 4, you want a decimal answer, so we're going to hit this double arrow key. And there we go. So we got 10.6 if you want a decimal. For this first section, we're going to leave it in simplest radical form, so we're going to leave it as 4 times the square root of 7. All right, moving on. 5 through 8, we're going to find the value of each trigonometric ratio, and we're going to use SOHCAHTOA. So for number 5, we're going to label our sides in terms of A. First one is the easiest to recognize. Across from the right angle is our hypotenuse, the side that is next to the angle, but not the hypotenuse. That is our adjacent side, and the side that is not touching our angle is our opposite side. All right, and we're looking for tangent. So tangent is TOA, which is O over A. So O over A would be 16 over 30. Make sure we reduce this. We can cut them both in half, so we're left with 8 over 15. Here's your final answer. All right, you guys can do the rest on that section. The next section, we're finding the missing side using trig ratios. So I'll do number 9 for you. So we're looking, this 20 degrees is referring to this angle. So let's label our sides first in terms of this angle. Across from the right angle is our hypotenuse. The side that is next to our angle but not our hypotenuse is the adjacent side, and the side that is across, not touching our angle, is our opposite side. All right, and so we know which trig ratio to use because we're given 10, which is our hypotenuse, and we need to know x, which is our adjacent side. So we're looking for the ratio that uses a and h, and that's going to be cosine. So we're going to set this up as the cosine of 20 is equal to a over h, so x over 10. And when the number is in the denominator, we can simply multiply it out. You do it to one side, you got to do it to the other side. So let's find what 10 times the cosine of 20 is. There we go, 9.39. So we're going to round this to the nearest tenth, so we'll call this 9.4. X is equal to 9.4. This will be the last one I'll do for this. Yeah, maybe I'll do one more. number 10, this one we're going to solve differently. Remember, the number is in the denominator for this one. The variable will be in the denominator for number 10. So let's first label our sides in terms of this angle. Across from the right angle is our hypotenuse, although we don't really need that for this example. The side that's touching but not the hypotenuse is our adjacent, and the side that is not touching is our opposite. So we're given the opposite and we need to know the adjacent, so that's OA. So we're going to use TOA, that's OA, so we're using the tangent of 28 is equal to 12 over x, because it's O over A. And now this one's different. The number is in the numerator and the variable is in the denominator. So there we go. We're going to switch this out and we're left with 12 over the tangent 28. You can go ahead and finish this one out from there. You can put this in as a fraction, or you can just do 12 divided by the tangent of 28. All right. 11 through 14, still same thing. 15 through 20, we're using inverse trig functions to find our missing angle. Okay, so I'll do number 15 for you. Just like with before, we need to start by labeling out our sides. Got our hypotenuse, and across from this angle would be our opposite side. So which trig function uses O and H? Again, if you want me to write this out, so TOA, hopefully you guys have that memorized by now. Well, which one uses O and H? That would be sine. So we're going to use the sine of whatever variable you want to put. I'm going to use x. Sine of x is equal to O over H, so 29 over 44. And now we're going to do inverse sine to cancel this out. If I do it to one side, got to do it to the other side. So take the inverse sine of 29 over 44. Go ahead and put that into our calculator. Second key, inverse sine, fraction, key, n over d, 29 over 44. Oops, delete. Got to get in the denominator. Hit that arrow key, there we go. 44, press enter, and there you go, 41 degrees. All right, you guys can do the rest of those. And this isn't Unit 7, but if you have 6.1 similar figures, the quiz missing for this, maybe this will help you out. And you can take that quiz if you have it missing. So for these two, we've got a bigger figure and a smaller figure. So I'm going to set up a proportion. We got big figure, small figure. All right, 20 and 16 are clearly the sides that go together. So this is 20 on the big, 16 on the small, and 25 and 3x minus 10 go together. So 25 on the big and 3x minus 10 on the small. And now we just cross multiply. 25 times 16 is 400. And 20 times 3x minus 10. We need to distribute this out. 20 times 3x is 60x. 20 times negative 10 is negative 200. Drop down the 400. Oh, I want to isolate x, so I'm going to add 200 on both sides. And I'm left with 600 is equal to 60x. Divide by 60. Divide by 60. X is equal to 10. All right. So hopefully this video helped. If you need more help, come see me on my Google Meet. Good luck.